Hello and welcome to another episode of the Classical Republican, where we seek to answer the question, what is neoliberalism? In my last video, I talked about the rise of classical liberalism up to about World War II. After World War II, fascism was defeated and discredited as a viable alternative. Liberalism seemed to be triumphant, except where it was checked by communism. While this confrontation went on, liberalism changed or evolved. As classical liberalism had overemphasized characteristics of classical republicanism, its mother ideology, with classical liberalism being its mother ideology, neoliberalism overemphasized something that was already there in classical liberalism, the free market and capitalism. 20th century economists like Friedrich von Hayek and Milton Friedman stressed the primacy of free markets to make choices. You had to have world peace in order to enjoy free trade among nations. Nations would privatize government services and deregulate, promote austerity and government budgets. The citizen would be defined as a consumer. Neoliberalism got its start in Chile under Pinochet and was soon championed by Margaret Thatcher in the United Kingdom and Ronald Reagan in the United States of America. These leaders were on the right of the ideological spectrum, but neoliberalism soon conquered the new left with Bill Clinton in the United States of America and Tony Blair in the United Kingdom. Some argue that we have a narrow ideological spectrum in the United States of America, being only a neoliberal spectrum and having two parties that are on two sides of the neoliberal spectrum. After the fall of the USSR, scholars like Francis Fukuyama declared a final victory of neoliberalism, that there would never be a viable alternative, only variations of neoliberalism. However, today we see attacks on this prevailing order all over the place, from Russia with people like Vladimir Putin and Alexander Dugin. In the US, we see people like Donald Trump and Steve Bannon. Events like the Asian financial crisis of 1997, the dot-com bubble burst in the early 2000s, the Euro crisis in the 2010s, and the COVID-19 recession may show that the neoliberal order is very unstable and hurts common people, giving rise to a search for alternatives that are more stable. One of those alternatives, with a clear record of stability for thousands of years, is classical republicanism. Long live the Republic.